Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Stop right there. Yeah, you. If you like all things entertainment, current events, or Hollywood, then look no further. Creator to Creators, hosted by director Meosha of Horror Noir, interviews filmmakers and creatives from around the world. Join in on the fun, guest celebrities, and informative information to have as a creator. Hit subscribe and stay connected to Creator to Creators.
Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today, we have a special guest.
Lovince Mckenzie.
Woohoo! Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I mean, I love your music. I was jamming out. I listened to a lot. I just binge watched a lot of your stuff on YouTube. I was like, wow, like you're everywhere. Tell me a little bit about your childhood and like growing up and kind of finding your way into this music world.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Kenya.
Nice.
And yeah, music has been part of my life for as long as I can remember. So as a child, I grew up listening to the 80s, 90s, hip hop, R&B type of music in Kenya.
Wow.
So, I grew up wanting to be like, wanting to sing like Whitney Houston or rap like, Dr. Dre or stuff like that. So like, that was a huge influence as to why I got myself into all of this, because I believe that if I didn't have that in my childhood, it would have been harder for me to even think of this as a career option. So so I'd say growing up listening to that, and then also having that African influence in my life as well. It was a really good mix. And then like just growing up and seeing music evolve and seeing, people crossing cultures and African artists like kind of incorporating like what they're learning from the Western world into their music and vice versa. It was just pretty cool seeing how music has evolved over the years until now. And, and now we have Afro Beat, which is the genre that I'm doing.
It's a beautiful genre. I love it.
Yeah,
it's huge. I mean, I love it. It's, I don't know, just like you just want to dance. It just makes you feel really good and
pretty much feel good music, positive vibe.
Oh yeah. How did you what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna leave here, from where you're from and to go and really pursue this music thing full on? Like, I mean, it has to be some type of, it takes a lot of courage to believe in yourself, when, it's like this business is really tough to really get into, but like you just went for it. Like it was just something that you knew you had to do.
Good question. So, I come from a typical African family setup where the only career paths that's kind of acceptable is like when, you're going to be a doctor or a pilot or, surgeon, like just something, a lawyer, something along those lines. So I see people making fun of that all the time because African parents are very, straight up, like either be a lawyer or, so like my folks, there's no way I would have like gone to them as a child and be like, yo, I want to sing, I want to be an artist. They would have been like, what? Are you crazy? Yeah. So I guess just loving music from a young age and then starting to like do covers or just like singing along to other people's music contributed a lot because I loved Akon over my like teenage years. going into that. And then I was like infatuated by the fact that he came from an African country and was doing really well, like commercially in the United States, and just like he was a globally well-known artist, you know? So just seeing that and getting inspired by that, that was a trigger. So just seeing Akon, I'd say, you know, shout out to Akon, man. Like you changed the game. You gave a lot of people out there hope, you know. So like, yeah, just seeing Akon come from that to being Akon with an African background was amazing. And then so like I guess I started like singing his songs while in high school. So I would like perform a cover of Akon's music because we did have like drama festivals in my high school back there. And that's what I would do because I was in the drama club. So like I would just like sing Akon songs and everybody loved it. So I was like, wow, okay, so I can actually sing like him. And then I started writing my own just as a joke, seeing if I could, you know, like come up with something on my own. And it turned out pretty good. So yeah, that's how I got into it. And then after high school, I decided to like, you know, link up with a few friends of mine just in home studios, you know, experimenting on stuff, sounds. And yeah, next thing I know, I was doing it professional. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I love that you say you're just playing around writing, and then it's like, I'm actually pretty good at this.
Yeah, and I can sing it too. Okay.
And you have the looks and the vibe, like you got you're the whole package. You got it. You got it. I want to talk a little bit about your song. I know, you know, the fact that it hit, like, I think it was like 1 point something. It was like in the millions on YouTube. Were you surprised when that happened? Were you like, whoa, this was received very well?
I'd say yes and no. And I'd say that because actually the way that song came about was I decided to pack my bags and I decided to go to Nigeria. And the whole idea for that was I wanted to create something that was kind of very similar to Calm Down by Rema. So I don't know if you know that song, but Calm Down, Rema featuring Selena Gomez. Yeah, so that song, it is what it is right now. But remember, this song was like made like over a year and a half ago.
Right.
So I knew about it like way before it kind of crossed over into the global market. So just because of like we're into our, you know, Afro Beat. So I had friends of mine out in Nigeria who were like, man, you know, if you wanted to sound that authentic and that nice as an Afrobeat genre, you'd have to come down to Lagos and record it. And the whole concept was, I really love the direction of this sound because I feel like it has that Afrobeat vibe to it, but still he simplified it to a point where like anybody from anywhere in the world can easily consume it without really having to understand what he's saying about.
Yeah.
I love the simplicity and the vibe that it had. So I went after their producers, the same producers who made that song.
That's awesome.
When I went to Nigeria and I linked up with a few people, and that was the concept, just something simple and very vibey.
Right.
And something that we can easily cross over to the international market. So that was the whole idea. And that was my intention. So when I went to Nigeria, we did that. And then I came back and shot the video in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Nice.
Just to give it that twist, you know? And yeah, released it. And next thing I know, it was doing its thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. It's so good. I think that's one thing I mean, I'm from a film background, so I definitely appreciate your visuals and the concepts of, you know, and just how your team, how they shoot. So I
Mhm.
wonder with your visuals, when it comes down to your visuals, are you very I mean, I know you have a team, but are you very like involved in that process of like, okay, I want this or I want this to feel this way. Can you shoot it here? Like, how involved are you when it comes to your visuals?
I actually am very involved in the visuals. So
Nice.
what happens is my background actually is film as well.
Okay. All right.
So like even in Kenya, I used to shoot a lot of music videos for other artists. And
Awesome.
it was like something that I used to do on the side just because I could. And then at some point I decided to take it seriously. But my background is actually film. So I did a lot of TV
Awesome.
commercials and music videos out there. And even when I moved to the United States, I kept on doing the same thing. So
Awesome.
even that's how I linked up with a few people, and Daniel Zollinger, big shout out to him, who's my main cinematographer, best friend, and partner in the
Mhm.
music videos. So yeah, I am heavily involved, and I
Very cool.
thanks to my background as well
Nice.
in film. Mhm.
Have you thought about making like since your background is film, have you thought about making like incorporating like your music into like a movie? Like it could be a
Yeah, yes, I'm actually working on that.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
and I want like
exciting.
soundtrack. Yeah, yeah. So, um, I have yeah. There's a few things that we're working on at the moment, and I've done a few experimental projects as well. I've released some I haven't. So yeah, looking forward to really incorporating that. I love like for example, like Kendrick Lamar's earlier videos.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, I love what they do visually speaking. I
Mm-hmm.
love what Taylor Swift does or used to do. So in terms of like just taking music and music videos and just adding a little, a little flair and make it cinematic as much as you can. Make a
Yeah.
mini movie out of a
Yeah.
music video. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
it's so
I'm
cool.
really looking forward to that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I can't wait to see it. It's kind of when I think about visual albums or cinema into music, I think of Lemonade when
Mhm,
Beyonce put out Lemonade, but it was a visual album.
mhm.
And she had the visuals out with the song. I was like, holy moly. And it was like
Yeah.
you kind of it just gives you a different you felt more immersed in her music and in her world because it visually just adds another like element when you just like, oh, that's the feeling that she felt, or that's where she was like, and then to see it and not just
Mhm.
to hear it, it's like, I don't know if it's a different thing you kind of walk away with
Yeah.
for sure. What's I love that you're involved heavily with your music. I find that like artists that are super involved in their music, like you guys have a longer like your journey, like your career is it lasts longer versus doing one thing. So the fact that you do visuals, music, you're writing, I mean, you're the whole package, honestly, in itself. You are the machine. So you can I wonder when the pandemic happened,
Mhm.
how did you keep that going? What did you do? How did you like, because I know the whole world shut down. It was like no one was, everyone was terrified. I mean,
Mhm.
what did you do during that time to stay creative?
I mean, to stay creative during that time, I I got more time to like actually just even focus more.
It's good.
So during the pandemic, it kind of just I feel like it um what's the word? It kind of made me better as well, just in terms of like I even learned more skills when it
Nice.
comes to film as well. Like for example, like I've really wanted to I've been intrigued by like VFX in
Mm.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I kind of took time to also like kind of immerse myself into that a little bit, and then also like just some other aspects of film and and marketing and PR stuff like that. So I took my time with all of that, and then also during the pandemic, traveling was quite hard, but somehow I did manage to travel
Awesome.
during that time as well. It was like really hard to do because of all the restrictions, and I can't tell you how many COVID tests I've gotten in my life. There's so many. Like, yeah, it's so crazy. But yeah, like that, traveling during that time was insane.
I
But I
bet.
got to do some, I got to do more projects during that time as well. And I traveled a little bit more as well during that time, even though it was harder to do that. So I'd say I capitalized on it a little bit.
That
Yeah.
and that's great. That's
Yeah.
great that you didn't let the circumstances stop you
No.
from being creative. I mean, I was definitely at that point, like talking to my flowers, and I was like, okay, no, I have to figure out something. Like this is not healthy. You know what I mean?
Same here. That's what I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to keep moving forward, a safe way, and keep pushing as much as I could.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So,
That's really great.
yeah.
I was gonna ask you, like, this industry can be very tough during your low times, and when it's slow times. What's something that you think of? Like for me, I definitely step away sometimes from my creative world. I think it's a balance, so that I can stay creative.
Mhm.
Because I think when I'm super stimulated, I'm like, I get a little out of my head. What keeps you motivated as far as, like, in this business of music? Why do you keep doing it?
Mm. What keeps me motivated? That's a good question. I think what keeps me motivated is um, my family and friends.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
they do keep me motivated. Family and friends, and then also, the music. Music, entertainment as a whole just drives me. So every single time, even if I turn on, I don't know, I get into social media or turn on the TV, and then I get to see, friends and colleagues like releasing new stuff, like still putting in the work, that keeps me motivated as well. And
Yeah.
then also like the journey, because everything is a journey. So the journey, how far I've come so far, and how far I still have to go. The journey also motivates me as well. So I do have multiple things that I use as motivation to keep going. And yeah,
I
so
like that. No, that's good. I,
and I'm trying to enjoy the journey as well as I'm
right.
going. Yeah, I'm trying
I
to
know
enjoy
what
it
you
too,
mean.
because
Same.
yeah, you have to enjoy it. If you don't, it's gonna be really tough. So I'm seeing the journey as as something positive that I should be enjoying. I should be enjoying the process as I'm headed towards
Do you take
freedom.
do you take your breaks? Do you take your breaks from the music world and kind of go away and like
Mhm. I kind of do. I'd say they're like mini breaks, but
okay.
yeah. Let me just say they're vacations, maybe. Not really breaks. I don't think I ever take breaks from music because I'm always like
Wow.
surrounded by music 24/7. So yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Mhm.
I always like to ask artists, if you could perform with anybody, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Mm. I'd say Taylor Swift.
Really? Oh, I would never have thought that.
I
Interesting.
know.
Do
I know.
tell, do tell.
I know. I feel like um Taylor Swift somehow um we have lots of good established commercial American artists,
Right.
but Taylor Swift has I'm not gonna say a cult following, but she commands something in this industry,
Mm-hmm.
and she does not struggle with it at all.
Mm.
So from a business perspective, Taylor Swift would be the ideal person that I'd love to perform with.
I
And
get it.
then also the vibe as well. I love how she kind of tells a story in her music, and she's sort of like herself in her craft. you know?
Right.
So I love the fact that it feels like she enjoys a bit of freedom in her craft.
Mhm.
And you can tell from, how she moves in the industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, Taylor Swift would be at the top.
That is so cool. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. That's cool. I've asked that question many times. No one's ever said Taylor Swift. This is
If I
awesome.
had a choice,
I
yes.
like that. That's really dope. I like
Mhm.
it.
No
Um,
doubt.
no, do you think this music industry is, being that you've been in it for quite some time? I feel like I also think about it in even just entertainment, like film is the same and under the same umbrella. Do you feel like things are changing for artists to be able to capitalize on their art? Is it getting better?
Yeah, I feel like things are changing a little bit. And I'd say that in terms of like, right now, I feel like everything is at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Oh, and definitely with the right team behind you, anything is possible. And it doesn't matter what part of the world you're from.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing that I really love about like what's going on right now. And that's the reason why you'd see like people, for example, from like my continent, from the African continent, like being able to like fill up stadiums
Oh yeah, it's
in the
amazing.
US and across Europe, someone like Burna Boy.
Oh yeah.
Look at the movement. He's a movement right now. This
Oh
is somebody I've seen like I've seen him like actually like trying to get there. And the
wow.
fact that he's now there and he's commanding the kind of respect that he is in the industry, it's amazing. Like there's no words that can describe that,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. And it's not taking a long time, and I feel like that all that um has been possible because of like how accessible things have become and the internet, just like how the world has changed right now. Social media has played a huge role. Yeah. So it's just, yeah, I like the direction music and the whole entertainment industry is taken.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I think I think it's definitely changing for sure. And even though it's so saturated, I feel like
Yeah.
there is I guess the pros and cons to it all, but the pros for sure is that everything's online. It's so easy to access someone, like, this interview, is it going to be a podcast? It's just these kind of things that we're doing. It's so crazy, it's a good time for sure.
Mhm. It's a very
I
good team.
definitely agree with you.
And
What
it's a good time to be an Afrobeat artist.
Oh yeah,
Put that
because
out.
it's in. It's like the wave. Every like everywhere I go, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's in for sure. It's a good time. Like I think that's the thing about music and film. I think there's always like waves. There's like moments, right? There's like, okay, this is in, or this, and the females, or whatever. It's always, so it's a good time right now. I really like this time that we're in. It's fun. Definitely fun. Um, I was going to ask you, like, throughout your life, the people that you've met in your journey, something that like sticks with you, that you've like, it could be advice that someone's given you that has stuck with you and made you kind of who you are today. And what would that advice be?
Mm. Um, I have two actually.
Ooh,
One of the trust your story, and I think that that sentence just kind of covers it all.
yeah. Trust
So
your
it means
story.
that trust your story and whatever it is that you're chasing, whatever it is that you're working on. As long as you trust your story, you will get there.
100%. I like that.
Yeah, and then um, also pretty much having what's it called? um, how can I put it? Another one was knowledge gives you power.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but geez, I'm forgetting this. Like it's a saying that I say all the time.
I love it. I love it.
What's going on? I think I'm getting too excited. So pretty much, I'll just say, yeah. So knowledge gives you power, but character will give you respect.
Oh, I like that.
You know?
That's good.
I believe that in any industry that you're in, as long as you're like disciplined in it,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to achieve. Um, as long as you're disciplined, you'll be able to achieve whatever it is, whatever goals you have in life. So you just like keep on pushing. So I think those are my two main advices that's always like stuck with me.
I love that. It's good advice. Great advice. I mean, you're a testament to what you're saying because you've overcome so many things. And look at you now. I mean,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's definitely awesome. I have another question I like to ask everybody, and there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer at all. But the three levels of influence, power, money, respect. Which one would you choose and why?
Power, money, and respect. I choose respect.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'd go with that because you ain't gonna get power if they don't respect you enough to give you that power. You're not gonna get money, or not gonna make money if people don't respect you enough to want to make money with, or to want to give you their money. So respect it all.
That's a good answer. That's a great answer. I love it. What's down the pipeline for you? Like what's next? What are you working on next that you like to share with us?
So for me, I'm working on like more features. And I'm working on more features, like international features. So
Awesome.
Watch out for might be Taylor Swift. I don't know. Ooh. Yeah, but watch out for features from here and just from Europe and the African continent as well. And then I'm going to be focusing on a lot of shows as well.
Yay.
Yeah, across Europe and across the United States and back in the continent, Africa as well. And then apart from that, lots and lots of new projects.
I'm excited. Do let me know when what part of when you come to the States, when you're performing. I'd love to show up to one of your shows. That'll be awesome.
Thank you. Love to have you.
Definitely. Where can people find you on social media so they can follow you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so on social media, on Instagram, you can find me at Mckenzie Lovince, at McKenzie, Lovince, Lovince, at Mckenzie Lovince. And then across all other platforms, it's just Lovince Mckenzie, Lovince, Mckenzie. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah. It was really great talking to you and chatting with you about your life.
Talking to you. Thank you so much for giving me the platform.
Of course, of course. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time.